What exactly is the organization called the Red House within the scope? Why has it become an indelible shadow in Black Widow's life? What inhuman tortures has Black Widow endured? Today, let us delve into Black Widow's inner world and see her tragic fate. After the Civil War in Captain America 3, the Black Widow was on the run for violating the Sokovia Accords. But that day she received an unidentified package and thought it was sent by a fan, so she didn't pay much attention. At night, Black Widow was driving to the city for some work when she was suddenly attacked. Black Widow's car was instantly overturned in an explosion, and a figure approached her. It was the ultimate weapon sent by the Red House, the Taskmaster. Black Widow quickly opened fire, but to her surprise, the opponent took out a shield to block it, then threw the shield at her face just like Captain America. Immediately afterward, Black Widow engaged in close combat with the Taskmaster, but no matter what tactics she used, the opponent could easily mimic them. Even their moves when getting up were identical. Just as Widow was puzzled, the Taskmaster focused his gaze on that package, and only then did Widow realize that the target was not herself, but the unknown package. Widow pulled out a small knife to step forward and stop him, but unexpectedly was punched away by the Taskmaster. After falling to the ground, Widow shot out a rope to hook onto his ankle, suspending him in midair. Taking this opportunity, Black Widow rushed to seize the box, but the Taskmaster immediately cut the rope and charged at her again. Black Widow quickly picked up the shield from the ground to defend herself, but she was no match for the Taskmaster. After a fierce fight, she was kicked off the bridge. The Taskmaster opened the box only to find that what was inside had already been taken by Black Widow. After escaping, Black Widow discovered that the contents of the box were actually some red vials and a photo of herself and her sister. To uncover the truth, Natasha quickly found her sister Yelena's place, but due to mutual distrust, the two immediately started fighting. The two simultaneously choked each other, and eventually, as Yelena was about to pass out, Black Widow let go first. Once they lowered their guard, Yelena explained what happened. It turned out that not long ago, Yelena was still a widow in the Red Room. During a mission to seize a box, Yelena used a knife to take out a woman, but before dying, the woman released a vial of serum on Yelena, which instantly freed her from the Red Room's mind control and restored her self-awareness. To save more widows, Yelena had to remove the tracking chip from her body and escape with the remaining serum. Natasha was puzzled after hearing this, because in her memory, the Red Room had already been taken down by her and Hawkeye together. But just as the two were talking, a group of heavily armed Widow assassins came chasing them, and they quickly escaped from the rooftop. Seeing no escape route ahead, they pushed over the chimney, preparing to swing across. At this moment, a Widow also jumped up. The Widow sister grabbed her, but the opponent pulled out a dagger intending to assassinate the Widow sister, unexpectedly falling to the ground from high above. After landing, the Widow wanted to step forward to check the situation, but unexpectedly Dracoff in the control room detected that this Widow's body was damaged and immediately pressed the delete button, causing the Widow to instantly explode and die. The Taskmaster is the ultimate weapon developed by the Red Room organization. It can not only replicate the Avengers' combat moves, but is also equipped with the same type of shield as Captain America.
Now he has transformed into Hawkeye and shot a deadly arrow at Black Widow's car.
The car was instantly blown over and fell into the subway station. Fortunately, Black Widow inside the car was unharmed, with only some scratches on Yelena's arm. The two of them fled along the subway entrance as the Taskmaster threw a shield at them, which ended up hitting a beam. By the time the Taskmaster arrived, he found that the two had already vanished. Following the trail of blood on the ground, he eventually jumped into the sewer, while Natasha and Yelena were hiding in the ventilation duct to escape. To rescue the other widows, Natasha and Yelena were preparing to work together. Take down the Red Room, but first we must locate it. And the only one who might know is their foster father, Red. The Red Guardian Alexei could have become the Soviet version of Captain America, but for disobeying orders he was imprisoned in the snowy mountain by Dreykov. That day, he received a package. When he opened it, he found a Red Guardian action figure. Just as he flipped the switch, the figure's head suddenly fell off, revealing a Bluetooth earpiece inside. Alexei silently put it in his ear, and on the other end was Natasha. Upon learning that Natasha came to help him break out, an excited Alexei immediately took down two guards and kicked open the prison cell door. Then he climbed onto the iron frame to escape, but was tased back to the ground by the approaching guards. Seeing more guards approaching, Natasha descended from the sky on a rope, making a stylish entrance. Black Widow, with her agile skills, easily took down several guards. However, at this moment, Yelena on the plane also came under machine gun fire. Yelena quickly fired a missile in return. However, the massive explosion triggered an avalanche, causing the guards in the prison to panic and flee into the base. Just as the entire prison was about to be buried in snow, she pulled Alex over with a rope to rescue him. After boarding the plane, she asked him about the Red Room, the location, but surprisingly, Alexei stammered and didn't know anything. However, Alexei said their adoptive mother Melina should know the location of the Red Room, so they went to Melina's secluded residence. Although the four were a family formed for a mission, years of being together made them more like real relatives. But just as they finished dinner and sat down to chat, a light suddenly shone, revealing the Widow army in pursuit. As Alexei was about to step forward to fight, he was unexpectedly shot like a beehive. Yelena saw this and quickly ran to Natasha's room, only to find that Natasha had already been knocked out. At this moment, Melina suddenly came over and said to Yelena, "You! All of them were then directly stunned with electricity. Subsequently, the Widow army took Natasha and the others back to the Red Room. Melina also took the opportunity to meet Dreykov, but Dreykov immediately saw through Melina's scheme. The Red Guardian is the most maligned superhero. His greasy uncle image not only makes wearing a uniform quite a struggle, but he also contributes nothing in battle and just gets beaten the whole time. To help Black Widow, Alex bravely fights against the Taskmaster. Although he originally had strength comparable to that of Captain America, he is mercilessly beaten by the Taskmaster, clearly emphasizing the invincibility of his opponent. Just as the Taskmaster raises a knife to finish Alex off, Melina arrives just in time. She uses a scissor kick, and together with Alex pressing the switch, they lock the opponent in a cell. At the same time, the Widow finally met the head of the Red Room, Dreykov. But just as she was about to shoot Dreykov, no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't pull the trigger. Then the Widow took out a knife, yet she still couldn't harm Dreykov. It turns out that Dreykov has a kind of pheromone that, once inhaled by a person, prevents them from performing any actions to harm him. And relying on this ability, Dreykov gave Natasha quite a beating, and to demonstrate his strength, he even showed Natasha the girls he controlled around the world. But after hearing this, Natasha revealed a puzzling expression. The smile on her face revealed that this had all been part of her plan. It was a trap set by the Widow and Melina. So the Widow immediately smashed her nose against the table, instantly cutting off her olfactory nerves, freeing herself from the pheromone's control, and punched Dreykov. Just as the Widow was about to take down Dreykov, a swarm of Widows came rushing in, and Dreykov took the opportunity to slip away, ordering the Widows to eliminate her. The Widow had no choice but to fight against the army of Widows alone. But the Widow army is full of elite soldiers, and even with 3 punches, the Widow sister can't match 4 hands, and she quickly finds herself defeated. At the critical moment, Yelena threw the red vial into the air, and with an explosion, everyone was freed from Dreykov's mind control. At this moment, an explosion suddenly occurred at the Red Room base. Black Widow told Yelena to take everyone and evacuate first, while she opened the confidential files and downloaded information on all the controlled girls. After finishing the list, she broke through the window and successfully escaped outside. Seeing Dreykov attempting to flee by plane, Yelena used a grappling hook to climb onto the wing and smashed the plane's engine with a stick. Dreykov was engulfed in flames, and Yelena herself fell from a high altitude. Seeing this, she immediately grabbed a parachute and jumped down. After successfully saving Yelena, before they had a chance to catch their breath, the Taskmaster came after them. The Black Widow pushed Yelena aside and faced off with the Taskmaster head-on. After landing, the Taskmaster did not want to let things go. The Widow jumped onto the back and crushed the opponent's back, and at the critical moment, punched the red liquid on the ground, finally allowing Antonia to regain her self-awareness. With the complete collapse of the Red Room organization, the Widow's lifelong psychological shadow was finally relieved. At the end of the film, the Widow got a plane with the help of a friend, starting the path to help Hawkeye and others escape from prison.